Hi fellas, this is Schematics again with the solution. Welcome back to another video tutorial. Well fellas, guess what? Today we're gonna solve a problem of mechanics. Okay. So today our topic is projector. So let's get to the question. Let's get straight to the question. So at t is equals to 0, a particle p is projected from a fixed point O with velocity this, with particular velocity this, then meter per second. The particle moves freely under gravity. The position vector of a point on the path of P is this. Okay, so the position vector is also already given for this particular. Uh, the position vector is given for this particular point with relative to O. Okay, so the first question asks that show that y is equals to this. So we need to construct an equation uh, where y would be the subject in terms of y in terms of x. So we're gonna construct an equation y in terms of x. Okay. So total mark for this question is 5 marks. So it would be pretty lengthy. So first of all, let us derive some of the useful information that would be required for this question. So here the fixed point would be O. This should be the initial velocity. Okay, so initial velocity in meter per second. The particle moves freely under gravity, so the particle is moving freely under gravity. This is another pieces of information. The position vector of a point on the path of P is this, relative to O. Well, in here, as we can see that here the components here the components are broken down into two parts. One is I component and another one is J component. So there would be two independent components. Okay. So in this question, it is already stated that in this question, the unit vectors I and J are in a vertical plane, I being horizontal and J being vertically upwards. Okay. So here, uh, since the components are given directly, we don't need to interpret the components using sine theta, sine sine theta, cos theta. Just we used to do before. Just as we used to do before. We just straightly, if we want to find the components, we just straightly use the coefficient. Okay. So in this case, the horizontal component of initial velocity would be 7. Okay, and the vertical component would be 7 root 3. So we can straightly write this thing from here. Okay, so this is in here it is already stated that I being horizontal and J being vertically upwards. So now let us draw a diagram where using this information. Okay, so let us draw a diagram using this equation. So here, J is the vertically upward component and I is horizontal component is the I. Okay, so in here the initial velocity is given here. The projectile is projected from a fixed point O. Okay, so here the initial velocity would be this, v would be 0 over here. So the vertical distance would be y, since the position vector is xi plus yj according to the question. If we look, then we're gonna find that the position vector is this. Okay, the position vector is this. The position vector is this. Okay, so here the position vector is this. So from here we can say that the horizontal component of position vector is x and the vertical component would be y. So let us write this down. Let us note this down in the diagram. So the horizontal component would be x and the vertical component would be y for position vector. So now let us look at the initial velocity. Here the initial velocity is this, just as before. This would be the horizontal component and this would be the vertical component. Okay, So now let us do the math over here. So here, uh, at first let us write the vertical component and horizontal component of velocity. Okay. So here we can see that the vertical component of velocity, which is upward velocity, would be uy, which is 7 root 3. The coefficient of j would be the vertical velocity, and the coefficient of I would be the horizontal component of velocity, okay, which is ux, which is 7. Fine. Now let us resolve separately. Okay. So at first let us resolve. At first let us resolve horizontally. Okay. So let us resolve horizontally. So in here, let us input this according to the Chauvet equation. So S U D A T. Okay. So in here, in this case, the displacement would be the horizontal displacement, which is x. U would be the horizontal component of u, which is in this case is 7. Okay. And we don't know about the velocity, and in here there is no acceleration. Okay. So that is why this would be 0, and we don't know about the velocity. Okay. Final velocity, initial velocity and final velocity would be the same. Why? That's because the only force that is acting here is the gravity. Since the only force that is acting here is gravity, so there is no force on the horizontal component. So that is why the velocity is constant. So the initial velocity would be equal to the final velocity on the horizontal direction. So this should be also 7. Okay, now let us find an equation which involves these things, this value. Well, we forget about t. So in here the t would be the flight of time, which is capital letter T. So this is the flight of time t. So since the velocity is constant on the horizontal direction, so we're gonna use this equation, S is equals to ut. Okay. Since the velocity is constant, since there is no force on the horizontal direction, so we can use this equation. This equation is for constant velocity, if we remember. Okay. So now let us substitute the values. This is x. This should be 7, and the flight of t would be where t would be the flight of time. So now let us rearrange this equation, and we're gonna get x divided by 7. So now let us name this equation 1. So we have found one equation. So now we have resolved horizontally, and we have find one equation, this equation. So now let us resolve vertically. Okay. Since there is two direction, one is upward and another one is downward in the vertical direction, so we need to name. We need to take either upward or downward. We need to take upward. Either we need to take upward as positive or downward as positive. It's up to you. Okay. So here we're gonna take downward as positive, taking down as positive. So here, since we are dealing with the vertical direction, since we are dealing with that vertical direction, now we're gonna use only vertical components. Okay. So in here we're gonna use the vertical components. So in this case the vertical component of displacement is y. Okay, now once again we are using the Suvat equation, SUVAT. Okay, since downward is positive and displacement is upward, so this should be negative, the displacement would be negative. Okay, since once again the velocity, the initial velocity is acting upward, so and we have taken downward as positive, so this should be negative. So we need to be careful about this. Okay, so we need to be careful about the signs, so because our answer would be depend on signs. Okay, so sign, positive or negative sign. So in here uh, the equation would depend on sign, so it is really sensible, uh, it is really sensitive. Okay, so that is why we need to be very careful about the sign. Okay, that's it. So here we have, let us substitute the, let us put the values over here. So in here here the final velocity, here in here the final velocity would be 0 in the upward direction. Okay, vertical direction, the velocity, the final velocity would be 0, and acceleration would be plus, since the acceleration is acting downward, so we need to take acceleration downward as positive, which is 9.8. And here the flight of time, in here we don't in here t is we gonna use t as flight of time. Well, let me tell you one thing, that this velocity would be for the vertical direction. Okay, so here it's okay, we are using the vertical direction as minus y, but we don't know about this velocity, the final velocity over here. So in here the final velocity, we don't know the final velocity over here, so we are not going to use this velocity, since this velocity wouldn't be 0 over here. The velocity the velocity is 0 over here, that's fine, but we're not going to use this velocity over here, since the time here, the time whenever it reaches here on the vertical direction, on the vertical direction, when it reaches here, the total time would be the flight of time. So this time correspond to the horizontal time. So the flight of time is equal on the horizontal direction and the vertical direction. Okay, so we don't know about this velocity, so this velocity is not 0. Okay, so we are not using this velocity. Okay, so whenever this ball reaches over here, the time, this is not the time of flight. Okay, so when it would be the half the time of flight. Whenever the ball reaches here, it has completed half of its journey. Half of its journey has been completed. So whenever it reaches here, it wouldn't be the flight of time. Okay, so it would be the half of time. So after reaching here, when it goes down to here, so it has accomplished its journey, and this total time would be the flight of time. Okay, so here the flight of time would be t, and the vertical direction would be here. In here distance, the vertical distance would be y minus y, u would be minus 7 root 3, a is this, t is this. Okay, now let us use this equation. Now let us find an equation which would relate these things. Okay, So now, since time of flight is same for horizontal direction and the vertical direction, so we need to use such equation that would relate time, time, displacement, initial velocity, okay, and acceleration, which is s is equals to ut plus half at square. Okay, so in this case, let us substitute the values. Minus y u in this case is minus 7 root 3 t, capital letter T, which is in this case a time of flight, plus half g t square. Now let us rearrange this equation. So if we rearrange this equation in terms of y over here y is negative, so we need to multiply both sides by minus 1, and we will end up something like this, minus half g t square. So now let us substitute the value of t, since time of flight is same for the horizontal direction and the vertical direction. So substituting 1. Okay, so now let us name this as 2. So substituting 1 into 2. So if we substitute, we're gonna end up something like this, 7 root 3 7 root 3 t is what, x by 7, which is this value. Okay, we are using this value x by 7 minus half g t, x by 7 whole square. Okay, so if we simplify this thing, we here this gets cancelled out, and if we calculate this value, so we're gonna end up something like this, root 3 x minus 7 7 is 49, 49 into 2 would be 98. Okay, so minus g would go upward, 98 x square. Okay, so this is how we gonna show that y is equals to root 3x minus g by 98 x square. So fellas, I hope that you have understood the solution as well as the problem. Okay, so if you still have any question regarding this topic, please let me know in the comment section. So in the next tutorial, we're gonna solve the next question. Okay, so until then, well, now let us match this thing with the answer that we have found. Okay, so here y is equals to root 3x minus g 98 x square. So here y is equals to root 3x minus 998 x square. Well, it does match. So we are able to solve this first question. It was done. So fellas, that's it for today. So I hope that you have understood the solution as well as the problem. I hope that this tutorial was helpful to you. So fellas, signing out for today. I don't want to make this video further longer. So if you still have any confusion regarding this solution or question regarding this problem, okay, let me know in the comment section. I'm always there to help you out. So until then, stay awesome, stay cool, since it is winter. So best of luck for your exam, and as always, peace with chemistry.